Up, y'all? PTB come back at you again with their fucking dope ass interview. And today we got Dave Lowmiller from A Dark Halo. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Fuck yeah, dude. So I'm not sure if this is your first time here. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure you watched my
This,
other interviews, how I do them and everything. Um, but we're just gonna get right into it, man. First off, I want to know, how long have you been playing your instrument?
oh man, I've been a multi instrumentalist for a long time. I actually started on drums probably around sixth grade and played drums in bands for years and years. And along the way, somewhere around high school, I picked up playing bass as well as guitar. Um, and once I got a little bit further along in my music career and started getting interested in producing music on computers, it became more and more important to me to play a little bit of everything. But with a Dark Halo, I landed on bass guitar because I was really enjoying doing lead vocals. And I just felt naked in front of a band without an instrument. And I found that holding up the back end of the band and holding up all the heavy, low fatness of bass really jived with what I was trying to do vocally. So that's kind of how I wound up there.
So, I gave you the link to the stream, so you can send it to all your band members so they can check this out. Yeah, anyone else,
Sweet.
I gave it to your Facebook. So
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna give you a quick background story on Dave, guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. So first off, Dave has been a sound designer for the following games. Says WWE, Dave and Chris founded ADH, A Dark Halo. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the beginning. Sorry.
Yeah,
All right,
that's fine.
so Dave and Chris. Chris is the guitarist, correct, or is he the?
Yeah.
Okay,
Christopher M. Jones. If you hear me refer to him in the shorthand as Jonesy, that's who we're talking about.
okay. Chris and
Yeah.
Dave founded A Dark Halo in 2005 in Phoenix, Arizona. A Dark Halo had 2 songs, included on a WWE game. Dave has worked.
Yeah. So,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. Yeah. Do you want me to talk about that, or you want to
Go for it.
keep going?
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So, Chris and I founded the band in 2005. We had known each other for a long time and had been playing in a lot of metal bands in the Phoenix metal scene, and decided that we kind of wanted to take a crack at the whole let's do the whole band with a computer thing and just see how far we could get with it. So this is right around the time that tools like BFD and Superior Drummer were coming online, and you could do crazy stuff inside the box that you weren't able to do before. So Jonesy and I just got together and started 2 times a week sitting down in front of Pro Tools at the time and knocking out these tracks, and we're getting like really really happy with them. And about that time, I brought up the WWE thing because that's where a lot of people first heard of us. I was working at a game studio at the time, working on a soundtrack for a WWE title that was Day of Reckoning 2, and the EP on that game had found out that we were doing this like metal in the box thing outside. Asked if he could hear it, and we showed it to him. He was super into it. We had the 2 tracks done at the time, so he asked if we'd be willing to sign the forms, get the permission to put him in the WWE title, and we're like, yeah. Got those in with the rest of the soundtrack, and man, I'm really grateful for that opportunity because it got ADH in front of a lot of people that might not have otherwise heard it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So that's kind of
I have
how
to
that
check
came
that
about.
out. You said which game was that from WWE again? Because I'm
That was a
trying to find that.
game. Yeah, there was a GameCube title from way back in the day. It was Day of Reckoning 2.
Okay. Hell yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, man. We'll find a
Um,
GameCube.
yeah, I think I played SmackDown was the one I played a lot. I played a lot of SmackDown.
Mhm.
Um, Other than that, man. So I'm gonna get on to the next thing that you told me. and that was Dave has worked as a senior sound designer on many titles, including ones on the Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Dead Space franchises. Dave has written music for multiple games. So let's talk about that. What other games have you done?
So most of the audio work that I've done in my career has actually been in video games, more so than metal. I'm a lucky guy like that. And I've been an in-house sound designer at a lot of studios, including Electronic Arts and Rainbow Studios at THQ. And I've had the opportunity to make weapons for Battlefield Hardline. I was a senior sound designer on that title. I worked on 2 of the Dead Space franchise games, Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, when I was over at EA. And at a contract studio, I worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, doing various bunch of stuff.
I never played Dead Space.
What I like it, oh my god,
never played it.
If you do you like horror at all?
I love horror. Absolutely love horror movies.
Man, that was one of the coolest things I ever got to work on, and I got lucky that I found out between Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. I found out that there was an opportunity to get onto that team, and the audio director at the time took me on. And man, horror is just the most difficult genre to work on, because if you get the timing just wrong, it becomes comedy. So it's all about these big empty spaces and misdirection and layers of tone and anticipation. And getting to work on space zombies and empty abandoned spaceships and just like creepy tonal stuff like that, I think actually made me a whole lot stronger, just meta as a metal musician.
That's kind of where I'm at right now, man. I'm actually, I'm giving my patrons, my Patreon followers, their own, little animations and avatars, and I'm messing around with like sound design right now. I've been doing vocal covers, and I sent a couple to you. I've been like featuring like echoes and chorus effects and flanger effects into my vocal covers. And it's like I'm like really starting to get into sound design too, as well as video.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like, what a time to be alive too. I mean, I think about what it was like when I was in school, and I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but when I was in audio production school, like we had to record everything onto an ADAT on these large format consoles, and you had to book studio time to even touch something like that. And now you can get these like insane emulations of every vintage console that ever existed, and you can instantiate like 12 Focusrite consoles and 12 SSL consoles in your session, and you can find tutorials from some of the best mastering and mixing engineers in the world just on YouTube. And none of that stuff was there when I first started getting into this, and now I love what a great equalizer that is.
I remember that.
Because of that, I
remember whenever YouTube started. Sorry for interrupting you. I have a lag with Japan. Yeah. I remember whenever YouTube first started, man, and I actually like started just doing like guitar covers on YouTube. I was like, fuck it. I made my own channel. I can't remember all the info, how to get back into that channel and everything. Can't remember what the name of the channel was. But I noticed that there was this one dude on YouTube I saw everywhere. It was PewDiePie. And now he's a fucking millionaire from YouTube. That's where I want to get, man. That's where I want to be. So
yeah, man. And now, like, with all the tools we have available to us, I mean, that's a great equalizer. Anybody can do it now. Like, we all have that opportunity. It's just hustle, hustle, hustle.
My current job right now, I'm an electrician for the United States Air Force. So, I mean, I love that job. Don't get me wrong. I love being an electrician. But at the same time, I love making my videos too. And if it gets to the point where I'm making more money doing this, I'm obviously gonna get out after 6 years. So, yeah. I mean, this is never gonna stop. So.
Oh no, this is the future now. especially with like we were talking about this in the bands, like with all the quarantine unpleasantness that's going on, and how like a lot of the entertainment industry has been ground to a halt, which sucks because a lot of artists that we love and respect and we're looking forward to concerts and albums, that's all been delayed. But yet at the same time, a silver lining that we were talking about is that for projects like us that have been putting together our own material with our own tools since the beginning, like maybe we've got an opportunity to shine through a little bit more in this time. And so we're going to try and push as hard as we can to that end.
All right. So, as you know, anybody who's watching that's been watching my interviews before, I give a shout out to all my Patreon supporters, regardless of tier. And it doesn't matter what tier you are, you get a shout out during an interview. So thank you to the people that keep my channel alive, to keep my channel going. Albin Holmstrom, Charles Murphy, Dennis Sledge, Dylan Castine, F1 Reacts, Glenn Mitchell, Marius Strand, Mary Ann Garcia, TXM Gaming, and Yusef Salem. Thank you very, very much for your contributions and never giving up on my channel. So, honestly, man, without these guys, and they're almost commenting on every single video that I do. They're in all my live streams. They're huge supporters of me. I couldn't ask for anything more, man, to have these people that I don't even know these people, and they love my videos, you know what I mean? And like the biggest supporter to me is definitely FYM Reacts. Definitely. And Glenn Mitchell's up there as well. He's the very first Patreon supporter. So, but yeah,
I think it's awesome that you take care of your fans that way too. Shout outs are rad.
I mean, cause like whenever I get, if I get big, that's the question. If I get big, people are gonna see that, and like they're gonna know like who was there from the start. You know, who was the top 10, who was the very first 10 on my Patreon that were supporting me, and I'm always gonna shout them out. So, but anyways, next question: are you a fan of metal music, or do you just play it because I know there's some artists out there that don't even like metal music, but they play it just because they like the fame. So do you like metal?
Oh my God, no. Yeah, I grew up with metal in my heart. It will always be my first love, and I kind of remember like where that all turned around growing up. As a kid, I'd been interested in like, at the time, what was around, it was like sort of the tail end of like 80s rock. And, I thought Def Leppard and Van Halen and stuff like that was kind of cool. But I remember when Metallica's Black album came out, which, I mean, arguably some of the earlier ones are stronger offerings, but it was the first one that got on my radar. And I remember hearing Enter Sandman and the way those power chords hit and the way those drums were mixed and just like how hard it slammed compared to anything I had ever heard before. I must have been about 11, 12 years old. I just remember in that moment right there, like I knew I was like, it had to be metal. I need to consume this. I need to make this somehow. I just need to commune with this. And then it just got heavier and heavier and heavier from there. And went through like Typo Negative was huge for me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, Fear Factory, incredibly important. Moving on through time, like Scar Symmetry, Soilwork, and Flames.
Soilwork.
So many.
That's a band I have not featured on my channel yet. That needs to be featured very soon. Amazing band, man. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like too many to name.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of bands out there that people never heard of, and they need to get into for sure. So metal definitely is the first love, but there's a lot of, you've listened to the music. There's a lot of like other non-metal influences in there too. Like film score is big to me and a lot of the other guys in the band. And there's other like piano centric types of music in there and that kind of thing. But it's all driven from just like the need to crush metal. So, About myself. So I got your perspective on it, on why you like metal. So my journey started. Obviously, my journey started way back in the day when I was like 7 years old. Listen to Queensryche, Queensryche, and Soundgarden. So those were the two first cassettes that my mom bought me. My mom bought me those, and I just love them. So when everything switched to digital, when everything switched to CD, CD-ROM, and everything like that, those are the two first that I bought. I bought Soundgarden. I forget the name of the album. I think it's called Black Sun Rising or something. I can't remember what it's called. It was the one with the dog on the front.
Super Unknown.
That's it.
Maybe.
That's it. Super Unknown.
Yeah.
Bingo. That was the album that I had on cassette player. And then also I had Empire by Queensryche, which is one of my favorite.
Dude, such an
albums.
awesome album.
Fucking amazing, dude.
So awesome.
Fucking amazing album.
Yeah.
Every single song is fire. So, and that's the one with Silent Lucidity on it too. That's why I love that song. So I loved Empire.
That's what else is on there? Like Another Rainy Night.
Jet City Woman, man.
It's like Jet City Woman. Yeah.
The Thin Line.
Yeah. You just banger after banger on that one.
Absolutely. And then it slowly progressed into middle school. When I got into middle school, well, obviously I went through my Backstreet Boys and NSYNC phase, of course. But anyways,
as one does, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Backstreet Boys. I actually still listen to the Backstreet Boys, believe it or not. But anyways, it's shifted over to a band by the name of Staind. I still listen to Staind. I fucking love Staind, man. I hope they can make a comeback. And then it shifted over to Linkin Park, and then that shifted over to Korn and Deftones. And then that completely took a complete U-turn, and I went into some fucking heavy shit, like Lamb of God and all that shit. Lamb of God, Meshuggah, Fear Factory, all the heavy stuff. Like Children of Bodom, all that stuff.
Meshuggah.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, Children of Bodom, oh man. Dude, Alex Alejo, that guy.
He's talented.
Man.
Very talented.
Yeah, what a talent. Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you next, since I just told you my history. I want to know the future. What's going on in the future?
Going on in the future with a Dark Halo. So actually, like, there's been, we're lucky too. We've got just such an amazing, loyal fan base that, man, they're too good for us, and they're always. A lot of them reminding us that they've been there since the very beginning, which for us is that's like 15 years. And we appreciate that support so much that we want to be able to tell them what's coming up next. And we've actually had some debate in the band, like, are we gonna do an album? Are we doing an EP? Like, what's the story gonna be? And we've we haven't really announced this yet. This is a good enough time as any. We've decided that the best thing for us to do is keep creating an album sort of in real time and release everything that we're doing as singles.
Absolutely.
We've disappeared for a long time.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to interrupt you right there, man. That is the fucking future for bands. Do not do full albums. Release everything as singles. I feel like that's a better, and I'm just going to throw this out there. The band Sleep Token released singles every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks they would release a new single. And look at their fucking fan base from that, man. Like, it's just huge.
I gotta tell you.
And they used the merch.
Metrics that
they added merch to each single too, like different merch to each single. Like, that was beautifully planned. Beautifully planned.
Totally brilliant. Yeah, and the fact that, like, we have these tools now that we didn't have 5-6 years ago. With, like, I can log into my Spotify for artists and see what's causing spikes and, like, where the playlists are happening. And we feel that we have a much better chance as a band long-term for survival by putting out the singles when they are ready for a couple of actually, we have multiple reasons. One is, like, the practical ones, like you said, like, every time we do it, the algorithms will pick it up. It creates, like, self-reinforcing buzz. I mean, all that is great, right? But also, as fan service, there's two things that are very important to us. One is we straight up don't want to disappear again for 3 years, whatever it is, and work on an album and keep saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and then
Yeah,
and
fuck
then
that.
maybe it comes, you know. So that's one thing, is like I want our fans to have them when they're ready. When we got a banger, like take the banger. The other thing is just sort of aesthetically, because of the way music is consumed now, right? Like, you know, pops up on your Spotify or whatever you're listening to it. I think it's awesome that each song can have its own piece of art, right? There's a color palette, sort of synesthetic thing, that every song has the set of colors and artwork that sort of define and complement that song. And you just get like each song, I don't know, I'm starting to feel like as artists, like it'd be kind of cool to let each track deserve that. So we've recently decided that, yeah, that's the way we're going, is we're going to put them all out as singles. You're going to get them when they're ready, so that we don't disappear forever. Also, it keeps us motivated, you know, having these little goalposts. So like,
There's
knock it out, knock it out, knock it out.
there's also two pros to doing singles instead of doing full albums. Number one is time management. So a single takes maybe a month, 2 months to get down, and then you'll have it right out for your fans. An album can take fucking years. So there's a con in making albums. A lot of artists are doing this nowadays, and I really think that this is the future. I mean, especially with this COVID shit, this is the future, because like you can do singles as a band. You know, you don't have to have a full band practice to do a single. You can just write your part and then send it. And then also another pro to doing singles is the fucking finances. It costs a lot of money to make a fucking album. Like I'm talking, and this is for the viewers out there. I'm just gonna throw out my band, my old band, literally $500 each song, $1,000 for 2 songs. You multiply that by 6, or fucking, excuse me, multiply that by what? There's 10. So, 2. Yeah, multiply it by 6. 12 songs is the general number on an album, correct? So, what do you get? Multiply that by 6. And that is fucking $6,000 for an album. That is ridiculous.
And that's just the mix engineer. Yeah, that's just the mix engineer. That's not your art. That's not necessarily your mastering. That's not your disc production. It's expensive. And yeah, we can produce this way a whole lot more efficiently. We're lucky. Everybody in the band has some level of a studio in their home, and so we've been able, like this. COVID for us, actually, it's just been business as usual. We're just trading Cubase sessions, and I'm assembling them all on. We do all the mix master happens. Well, actually, right here on this rig that you can't see on the other side of this camera. But yeah, man, I absolutely have no problem or judgment with any band that's like gonna keep putting out albums, because I mean there is still like there's a coolness. I will say this, like having the physical merch is awesome. There really is no replacement for opening up like a physical package and like checking out all the artwork and smelling the paper. And there's also kind of a coolness to like a collective cohesive set of songs that's mastered in a way that like just resonates with your musical tastes. I mean, I'm not against it. If people want to still put out albums, awesome. But I'm inclined to agree that we've seen enough of a tectonic shift in the way the music industry works that fiercely independent projects like ours probably will be better served by knocking out singles. And that doesn't mean that we are talking about doing physical merch at some point. Maybe we'll get to, hey, it's almost like putting an album on layaway is the way we've been talking about it, right? Like maybe we get 8-10 tracks into it and we're like, oh, hey, that's a collection. Let's put them on disc with a new song, run a limited amount of thing. We've got the material. Maybe we'll do it on vinyl. Those are all next week problems. But for now, the most important thing to us as creators is we want to get more ADH into our listeners' ears without making them wait 15 years or whatever it
Damn.
was.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, man. I mean, and
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with your decision doing singles over albums because I truly believe that doing singles is the future of music. It has to be. There, I mean, because it's just so much time putting into an album, and then the fans get bored. Obviously, they lose fan base. The only downside to doing singles is you have to wait a while before you tour, because if you don't, you can't just tour and do one single and that's it. You know what I mean? Like you can't do three singles
Yeah.
on a show. You have to play a whole album on a show, or do like your old songs and then the new songs combined, as well as the singles. So, but
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is this. So, my thoughts and my suggestions to you guys would be to, first off, as I said before, create singles, definitely like what you're saying already, and add merch onto each single. Add merch. Add a merch item. Just doesn't have to be big. Make it small. Make it something that people are gonna wait on. Make it something that people will actually appreciate to have, and actually will grab the physical copy to get the merch. So that would be my
We've
suggestion.
had we've been experimenting a little bit with that with t-shirts. We've been knocking out t-shirts for every song, and people seem to be into that. So I think like yeah, you're onto an idea there too. We'll probably expand from there, but those have been a relatively easy and reliable thing for us to do, even with all the global unpleasantness right now.
Yeah. Uh, and I would like to add another 2 cents in. Actually, you could. I don't know if you're already working on a project for sound design for another game, but I think that you guys should jump on the boat of Mortal Kombat, because there's a new Mortal Kombat trailer just got released,
Oh my
and
dude, those guys at NetherRealm, those are the best sounding games I think in the industry. Oh man, like I every time I play any of the last two Mortal Kombat's or Injustice, I'm 5 minutes into that game and I'm just like frustrated with myself as a sound designer. Those guys are so good. They're so good.
and they're nice guys too, because I've heard from different people that interviewed Ed Boon and Tobias, that they're. I mean, obviously Tobias is not with them anymore, but
Mhm.
I've heard that in interviews that they are really really nice people to talk to. They don't treat themselves differently, like like how Fame does to people. They still treat people with respect, and they're down to earth. So yeah, I
Yeah,
think you
I've
guys
heard
should
it's real
definitely
down to earth.
jump on that, dude. Get your tracks on that
Oh
game.
man. Oh man. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. If I could. Yeah. I'm a big Mortal Kombat
Me
fan. we,
too.
we never talked about that. Yeah. I got a
Nine is the best, man. Nine is the best game they brought out, in my opinion.
nine, 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 nine is good.
And
10,
Deception
10.
too.
Just from like Deadly Alliance, I feel is sort of like where the 3D combat started getting good. But I'm glad that
Hmm.
they brought it back into a like 2D plane. I am really starting to feel 11 quite a bit,
Me too.
and part of it is just like part of it. It's just an artistic masterpiece. I mean, those guys have not just sound design, right? But like they have some of the best facial animation. They have some of the
Oh,
best
dude,
like just
they're on it,
animation in
man.
general.
They've
Their
they've been
VFX,
at this.
yeah.
They've been at this since I've been like 4 or 5 years old, man. They are on their shit. And
That's so good.
the only problem that I have with 11 is because I am waiting for another game to feature a conquest mode, a real conquest mode like Deception had.
Oh, yeah.
Deception's conquest
Yeah.
mode was the best fucking conquest mode in Mortal Kombat. Aside from Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks was a hell of a game as well. But yeah.
I keep playing just pick up PvP games and then just launching the controller. I've probably uninstalled and reinstalled that game an embarrassing number, like at least half a dozen times. It's like, nope, no more. And then yeah, like 2 days later, oh,
Deception?
Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, 11, okay.
No, 11. Yeah, 11 recently.
Yeah, I got it for the Switch. It's actually not bad on the Switch. I
I
got rid of
saw
the
it on the
Switch
Switch.
Online though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then so less. So you don't want to be controller launching the Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of rage quitting.
Of
Yeah, no, it
course
looked
not.
good on the Switch. When I saw it side by side with the consoles, it looked like it was missing a little bit of lighting, little bit of textures, but other than that, it looked like pretty full, pretty fully ported.
Hell yeah. So I gotta ask you real quick. I asked this about all my clients, if you will. I guess I could call you my client.
Mm-hmm.
I asked them what. Okay, so I asked them 3 questions. What most do you like about my channel, and what was your favorite reaction that I've done?
So the thing about your channel that caught me immediately, and I really liked it, and you and I have actually kind of talked a little bit about this offline, is I love the just liberal use of all the camera shake and the effects, and just like you
Camera
you were
shakes are
just like
gone, brother.
clear. Yeah. Oh, no more shakes.
No.
Oh, I just I really I liked it. I liked all the post stuff. It just showed me that like existentially, like you were enjoying every single minute of what
Yeah.
you're doing and really getting into it. And the other cool thing about your channel that's sort of meta to the channel, the Pause the Boss Empire Facebook group thing that you're running, where all of these bands that you're collecting as friends and colleagues. It's so awesome to see everybody in there like talking to each other and helping each other and just building each other up as a metal community. I think that's totally badass. And like, dude, seriously, good on you for constructing that. I think it's rad.
I'm throwing my Discord group in the chat right now. If you want to come join, feel free. It changed the OBS when you were talking. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to link this for the people that wanted to come over to Discord. But yeah, I used to do polls in the actual Discord. Sorry, not Discord. In the Facebook group, I would actually do polls, and they would actually vote on it. I would do like, all right, so this band's going to be featured this weekend. That's how Fear Factory came about. So I was like, all right, Fear Factory's going to be this weekend. Surprise, surprise. Lamb of God's going to be this weekend. Surprise, surprise. Static X is going to be this weekend. So I would do full weekends. And then that gradually escalated into me having a partner and doing double reactions like Nightwish and all that stuff. And I mean, we fucking nail that shit, man. When we do double reactions, it is this guy right here is busy as fuck editing after the weekend of me and Troop doing reactions. Like, it's crazy. We do like 8 or 9 reactions. I record it, and everybody's asking me, where the fuck is the weekend react? I was like, bro, it takes me like 2 or 3 hours to edit a fucking video. So I gotta make sure it looks good. You know, I don't want to make it half-ass. You know, I don't want to be the next Alex Hefner. I'm sorry, I am not a fan of Alex Hefner. I never will be a fan of Alex Hefner. So, but anyways, now that I'm done with that fucking rant, what do you want to see in the future for my channel? Do you have any suggestions for my channel to become better?
You and I've kind of talked about this too, a little bit offline, man. But like, my only suggestion to you is just like, dude, seriously, you do you. Like, do your vibe, make it look and sound the way you want to make it sound, and like don't ever let a hater influence anything you do, even one iota, man. So it's like, if you want effects, put effects. You want to do double reactions, double reactions. Just like, what you're doing is killing it, and like, look at how fast your fan base is growing, man. You're doing something rad and something. It's getting nutty, man. So like, yeah, man. What my suggestion? Just keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously working.
Fuck. All right, so no suggestions. All right. So did you tell me your favorite reaction on my channel yet? Because I want to know what the favorite reaction was.
Favorite reaction on the so I saw the. Does a Dark Halo doesn't count?
No, unfortunately not.
No. I liked the conflict video reaction.
The new one or the old
The
one?
Yeah, serve and protect, serve and protect.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
Yeah, clearly feeling it, man.
All right, so
Yeah.
every single interview I do a live reaction. So I will be doing a live reaction today to one of your songs. Which song would you like me to do?
I would like to know what you think of the single that we put out right before Revenant, called Starfall, from
Starfall.
spring of last year. There's an official lyric vid.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm moving everything up real quick.
Oh man, doing it live.
Yeah, it's gotta make it work. So let's see here. I'm not sure why it's not popping up. Live reactions. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, there it is right there. Image. Grab the image, bring it over. Sorry.
No worries.
Bring it below my camera here. I don't see the image. That's fucking weird.
I'll get in paint and draw some up real quick.
Okay. You're good. Not sure why it's not popping up here. Really starting to piss me off though.
Computers are okay. So everything nice I said about computers a minute ago, I take it all back. Computers are the worst.
Honestly, OBS is the worst because I just, it's hard because I don't label my stuff, so I gotta start labeling this shit so I know what's what. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to do walkthroughs of some of the Dark Halo sessions. I'm really proud of them, but then every now and then I look at the track names and just like duplicate 1, duplicate 2.
It's right here. I have it to bring it in, but the problem is Discord's in front of it, so I can't have Discord in front of it. Where's Discord? Is Discord? I'm really sorry, man. I should have set this up before. Sorry.
No worries, man. If we can't get that thing going, man, we could tell jokes, do some stand up.
All right, cool.
All right, I got a bad one. I got a real bad one.
Okay.
2 peanuts walk into a bar, and one was assaulted. I'll stop.
Oh shit.
Yeah, booed up, man. So let's see if I can get myself booed off YouTube.
Oh, I got it. I fixed it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got it fixed. Make it bigger. All right. So Starfall, correct?
Yeah, the lyric vid.
Make it a little bit smaller than that. All right. So, of course, I'm gonna be going wild if it's gonna fucking set off. One thing about this is that I will not be able to hear you, and you probably won't be able to hear me whenever you rewatch this. So I gotta kind of just react to it and pause it if I have. Yeah. All right. So
I can mute myself and sip on my my fancy tea.
I'm still working a way around that, to be honest. Here we go, right here. Starfall. Because I like to listen to my music loud when I listen to music. So.
As one does.
Shit. We got our window capture here, image, window capture. Bring that window capture up here. It's kind of half-assed, but it's going to work. All right. Let's see here. Window capture. I don't have my dragons, but I'm sure people can get over that. Can't have it perfect as a live. So this is gonna be my reaction to A Dark Halo, Starfall. Let's get at it. A beautiful intro. I'm gonna pause it real quick. So I want to know, why did you decide to go with the more soft approach next to I Revenant, and how much how much later was this released? Or sorry, was this before released before I Revenant?
This is before Revenant, and
Is it Revenant or
ADH
I
like
Revenant?
I Revenant. We
Oh,
just
okay.
call it like around the band. Yeah, we just call it Rev for short because we're lazy. Yeah, this came out about 8 9 months before Revenant, and like a thing with the Dark Halo has always been that we like to just sort of explore kind of a wide range of palette and these big powerful chord progressions and hooks and chord structures, and like we were just talking about a minute ago, you can hear it maybe a little bit more in this song. Influences from film score and like singer songwriters, um, even like dude, even like Tori Amos's first album. That was a dark
Never heard of him.
album. She was a singer songwriter in the early '90s, and she was famous for just like pretty much a solo artist, singing her songs and playing piano. And like the stuff later on lost me, but that was the first time I had heard like really beautiful piano over just like really dark subject matter, and that like kind of stuck with me. So every now and then you'll see stuff like that kind of pop up. So we might do something that's kind of like Meshuggah or Sepultura sounding, and then stick something like that right next to it. And then we've been exploring palettes like that as long as we've been a band.
I'm gonna get back into it. All right,
Oh yeah.
let's listen to the rest. I like that single, how it's designed. That's sick.
Thanks, man.
got a hell of a guitar player as well.
Dave is just a total monster.
I don't even have to watch the video. I just need to close my eyes and listen to it, and it takes me to another world.
That's a really awesome thing to hear, man. I appreciate that.
Sick. So, that video, was that made using DaVinci? Because it looked like it was.
That was Brad made that using a whole bunch of things. That was before we had made the full switch to Resolve. There was a lot of After Effects in there, and then I think the final cut of that was done in Premiere. He may have to come on and correct me, but for the Revenant video, we switched entirely to Resolve.
We have
that.
We have a question in the chat, by the way, for you. Go ahead and finish though.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, for Revenant, we moved entirely 100% to Resolve. In fact, we went Blackmagic designed farm to table. We bought the Pocket Cinema 4K, shot it on that, cut, edited, post, the whole thing in Resolve.
Hell yeah, dude. So I got a question from 60p Test. I do not know that user. It's a new user on my channel. Welcome to the Empire. I hope you're enjoying the stream. His question is, when is the next single for our Dark Halo?
We can talk about that. So we have a single that we're getting really, really close on being done with. We're targeting the end of May, if we can get all of our ducks in a row. But part of the reason that this one is special and taking us a little bit extra time, and possibly think you're going to like this, is that we are heavily featuring as a guest vocalist Anna Hell from Conflict.
Oh shit! That's the surprise you were gonna fucking give me. All right.
Yeah, that's the Oh my god, the tracks she is sending over are just awesome.
She's a goddess. She's a goddess. I mean, there's just no other way around it, dude. She's so good at singing. It is ridiculous.
She's an incredibly talented vocalist, and like man, her deliveries have been super professional.
Yep.
So like we're really happy. We've been wanting to do that ever since she allowed me to sing on with their songs, which was an awesome
De-Evolution.
It was an awesome experience.
De-Evolution.
Yeah, De-Evolution. That was an honor, and I've been wanting to reciprocate ever since then, and now we're finally getting it done. And you can't stick me to this because things get difficult with production, but we are targeting end of the month for the next one. We've got key art done, titles done.
Awesome.
We're just finishing up getting all the vocals and production done.
So I'm currently training my voice to do vocals. Would you ever consider me to be a guest vocalist? I mean, dude, I'm not a member of a band, but I mean, I'm trying to get up there. And speaking of collabing, I have some news for you. I don't know if I told you this already. I think I did offline. But Glenn Mitchell, lead singer for Isolated Antagonist.
For Isolated, yeah.
He has asked me to work on a project, music video project.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. So,
fucking cool.
are you allowed to? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah. I'm allowed to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I just can't give you the name of the song. I can't let you listen to the song, but I have been
Yeah, sure.
chosen to work on a project with Isolated
Dude,
Antagonist.
that's badass.
Yeah.
Like when what's the timeline on that?
I don't know. Glenn, are you in here? I'm pretty sure he's watching. Glenn, what's going on?
Maybe.
Hopefully, if I see a blue
Hopefully.
user,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm probably gonna say, man, it's gonna take me a couple months because I want it to look good. I don't want it to look bad.
Yeah. No,
Um,
anything worth it. Well, I get that. We get very perfectionist over in ADH, which I think on the one hand, that's like that's part of what makes the project what it is. That we only release stuff when we're absolutely convinced that it's done as at least as done as it can be. But it's also resulted in we've for every song we've released, we've thrown away, I don't know, 4, 5 songs that just weren't like you get a certain way into a riff, certain way into a song, and it's just like oh, doing something else. But yeah, man, just work on it till it's ready. Although I had a director, audio director, tell me one time, projects are never done ever; they're just released. I like that.
so we got about 9 minutes left in the stream because you said an hour. Can you do more? Are you good?
I can yeah I can hang.
Let's hit 20 more minutes and go on the subject of so what made you decide to do guest vocals for Conflict? How did that come about?
Anna reached out to me and asked if I would do it, and she sent me the track, and she was like, it's like, hey, do you want to do vocals on this album? I'm like, mate, right? Yeah. I mean, with all that other talent pool that was on there,
Fuck yeah.
holy shit.
You seen Burton
Yeah,
Seabell, you
like
jumped on that shit.
yeah, it's like yeah, that was before I even knew that was happening, right? When I found that out, it's just like, oh my god, I'm being on a record with Burton. But yeah, I was so honored that she asked me to be a part of that.
I
And then when
bet.
they put that visualizer out, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was
That whole
fucking
album came
cool.
out so awesome.
Yeah,
That
that
album
dude, that I
sounds
still
so
listen to it.
good.
I still fucking listen. I'd still listen to their old shit,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I got everything that's back there. I literally listen to on a daily basis. I love Low Frequency Addicted. That song has my heart forever, dude. That is the most badass
Dude,
song I've ever heard.
that what I really like on the new disc too is like we were just talking about like textural stuff that goes on with us. I really like that about them too. That it's like 1 minute it's just like bang and drop tune guitars, and then the next like what's next? It could be saxophone, right? I mean, it's a textural journey, and I dig bands like that. So yeah, when Anna reached out to me, I was like, hell yeah! Oh my god,
So,
that was one of the coolest collabs.
I already asked you if you had suggestions for my channel. You said no, just keep doing what I'm
Mhm.
doing.
I said ignore anyone that dissents.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're not the first person that said that either. Mary is watching. Thank you, Mary, for joining into the live stream. Um,
Hi, Mary.
she's a brand new Patreon supporter of me. So, if you rewind, I gave you a shout out. So, it's during the beginning of the interview. But this is a normal, man. This is very normal. And I am literally waiting on one message from Bill Crook from Spirit Box, and it is a fucking go for an interview with Spirit Box. I cannot wait because that band is like.
Dude, that's
Have you heard them yet? They're fucking amazing, dude.
I checked them out on Spotify
They are fucking
after we
amazing.
talked, dude, that's awesome news, man.
Yeah, I'm literally waiting on one message. So, and I'm interviewing the old Psypcore vocalist coming up next weekend as well. Well, Attila. His name's
That's all.
Attila. Attila Erdely.
Dude, you're get
Yeah.
busy is a good problem to have.
Yeah. And
Yeah, man.
plus I'm working, so yeah. I've been on vacation for almost 3 weeks now, so it's
Yeah.
I planned I
Also a
planned
good
it
problem to have.
I planned it really well because like we're on 3 days on, 3 days off. So I literally went on vacation before the day started, and then I went for 10 days. That way I didn't have to go back for the following week. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take a month off.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
just game it, man. Work the system.
yeah, it's fucking dope, dude. All right, so I don't know if your other members are watching. I would like to hear from them. Um,
I put the thing in the Slack. I think they are. Let me check the band Slack.
Kicks,
Their
Chris,
thumbs.
Kicks and Christopher. I don't know the other member's name. The other guitarist.
That's Abe is the other guitar
Abe.
player.
Okay, if you guys are watching, if
Yeah.
you guys have any questions for me or for Dave over here, I want to hear them. Um,
If they have any questions for you, the first one's probably going to be, can you mute Dave?
all right. Glenn's watching, but he never responded. But yeah, like I could tell you what I'm currently working on right now.
Yeah, hit me.
I have me and MLB Magic Lunchbox have already recorded two dual reactions. One's a spirit box reaction, one is a neoclassical guitar reaction. So one of them is going to be on his channel, but in the video, me and him support each other. So if you watch one video, you have to go watch the other on the other channel. That way, we get to share the subscribers and the likes for our videos. And that's a brand new thing that we're introducing to my channel. It's going to be called the long distance reactions. So, and
That's awesome, man.
he's a fucking cool dude. So I'm pretty stoked to get that done. Um, and it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a continuing thing. So keep an eye out for that spirit box reaction on my channel, as well as go
Oh yeah,
subscribe.
totally.
Go check out his channel as well, Magic Lunchbox. I'll put the link
So
below.
they're in there. We got a band Slack going, and they're in there. So I'm asking if they have questions. I think they're in there.
I'm watching the chat. I don't see him. Yo.
They might not be in.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got an answer back from Brad about Starfall. I told some lies. Starfall was that lyric video was After Effects and Red Giant plugins.
Really?
Yeah.
After Effects.
And hey, our assistant director on the Revenant video, Melissa is watching too. Hi, Melissa. Unit A.
Here's Melissa.
We had. She's the assistant director that worked with us on the Revenant video. Actually, I want to shout out everybody on that project.
Go for it.
There was me, and there was Brad Bissell, who was our director of photography and the main editor on the project, and we also had Melissa DeVarney, who was our assistant director, and we had Corey Cudney, who was our assistant camera, and they all killed it, and I can't believe we pulled that off on such a small crew. But we started, we wound up with a little in joke of there were two units, Unit A and Unit 1. They were co-equal. It's a bad joke, but we love it. So Melissa, Unit A is watching.
Well, thank you for watching, Melissa.
And Brad is watching too.
Nice. Brad's the guy. Brad is the guy that you told me about the DaVinci Resolve, correct?
Yeah, Brad is the most monster of video production I've ever worked with. And I mean, he and I have ridden into battle many times over the years working on video game content, but I've seen that guy do things in pretty much every video editing suite there is that I didn't think could be done. And then, yeah, once we moved over to Resolve and we did farm to table, Brad on the camera, all the way through the post production edit process with all Blackmagic design tools. It's like, dude, he's a witch. He's a monster.
All right, Dave. Well, I got time for one more question, and then I'm probably gonna go back to sleep because I am fucking tired as shit. So I gotta ask you, have you checked out Glenn's radio station, Cranium Radio?
Cranium Radio. Yeah, man, and like he's been giving us air support on there, which I super appreciate, and I think it's awesome that he's again anything that we can do as the metal community, as the industrial metal community, to like build each other up, help people get discovered. Like, dude, what a badass thing to be doing. So like thank you, Glenn. We appreciate it. The band appreciates it, and like keep that shit up, brother. That's awesome.
All right, Dave, I really appreciate your interview. I really got to go get some rest, man. I'm fucking beat to the world. I've been up since, I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, get those double reactions done with MLB. I went to bed at literally 1:30 in the morning, so I'm pretty fucking tired.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So keep an eye out.
Handle it.
Keep an eye out for that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
For that Spirit Box double reaction. I think it's going to look pretty sick, so.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, and congrats again on that.
Thanks, man. All right, brother. I will talk to you later. Thank you guys for watching Pos the Boss Empire.